Hi, welcome to the Rise Up and Live YouTube channel. My name is Kelly Rissy and I'm the owner of Rise Up and Live Wellness. During these videos, you will hear things about health, life, and mindset to help you live your best life, such as how to decrease and manage stress, how to get better sleep, how to set boundaries, how to eat mindfully, how to build confidence, how to live spiritually, and so much more. So thanks for joining, and I hope you enjoy my To the Points. And here is a little throwback for you. I am here to teach you today how to honor your hunger and fullness so that you can have a happy, healthy body. But first, why am I talking about hunger and fullness? So in the mindful eating cycle, there are 6 questions we address. Each cycle addresses: why do I eat? When do I eat? What do I eat? How do I eat? How much do I eat? And where do I spend my energy? And so hunger and fullness addresses the when do I eat question. And typically we fall into one of the following camps. We're either an overeater or we're a restrictive eater. So the overeaters, when they are triggered either consciously or unconsciously by physical, environmental, or emotional triggers, which causes them to eat. So physical hungers can be thirst, fatigue, or pain. Environmental triggers such as the time, like time of day, can be environmental trigger, or seeing an appetizing food in the break room or at your house, or certain activities that are just associated with food. So all of those can urge an overeater to eat. And then there's the emotional triggers, such as stress, boredom, guilt, loneliness, anger, or even happiness that leads overeaters to eat. Hence the term emotional eaters. So anyway, I don't know, I have fallen into all of those camps before myself. This is before I really learned to honor my hunger and my fullness, and that I didn't really know what my triggers were. So I spent time addressing what those were so that I could truly begin to honor my hunger and my fullness. But what happens when we're in the habit of eating for all of those above reasons, all of those triggers? When do we feel like eating? All the time. Right? Because we're always either happy, sad, bored, whatever. So then it just becomes we want to eat all the time. Okay, now let's go to the flip side. So the flip side is the restrictive eaters. And so the restrictive eaters eat according to the rules. The rules determine whether they are allowed to eat or not allowed to eat. For example, the rules say eat every 3 hours. So restrictors eat every 3 hours. The rules might say, and these are rules either put on them, they put on themselves, or that an expert has put on them. Never eat past 7 p.m., right? That's a rule. So they follow the rule, whether they're starving or not. They do not consume food after 7 p.m. So the clock dictates if they can eat or not. And what these rules actually do is they place an artificial constraint on their eating that doesn't necessarily honor the body's natural hunger rhythms, and they don't address the real reason they want to eat in the first place, because they feel like if they follow the rules, then they will stay in control, right? Okay, so what does honoring your hunger and your fullness look like? Great question. So if you know anyone who is an intuitive or an instinctive eater, you know that they honor their hunger and their fullness. And quite frankly, that means they eat when they're hungry. Not because the clock tells them it's time, and not because a trigger gave them an urge to eat, but hunger is the primary reason they eat. When our body needs fuel, right? It triggers in cessation that tells us it's time to eat. And that's why mine was grumbling, and it was deep. It was a deep grumble. And then, so I knew that it was time for me to eat. And then the other thing that instinctive and intuitive eaters do is they stop when they're full. Now, They do this because they don't want to be uncomfortable. They want to continue living life after they're done eating. So they want to have enough energy to get up and go and to do things. Now, occasionally, intuitive eaters will eat when they're not hungry, but they don't feel guilty about it and they don't beat themselves up. They just simply don't eat again right away. They wait until they're hungry, right? It seems like so simple. So what I want you to do is I want you to think of your hunger and your fullness on a scale of 1 to 10. 1 being famished, 10 being stuffed and miserable. So we should begin planning our meals around a 3 when we're starting to get hungry, and then we can either eat right away or we might have to drive somewhere to get some food, whatever, which means that we're probably eating when we're a 2, okay? So you're going to eat when you're either a 3 or not past a 2, because if we go to a 1, we're famished, and then we just want to eat everything, and our body, we just waited too long to eat, and our body's like, I need food. Okay, then we're gonna stop eating when our fullness is at a 5 or a 6. So 5 is satisfied, 6 is full. When we're satisfied and full, we still feel comfortable. We can still get up, we can go for a walk, we can, live life. We just have energy, we feel good. If we've reached a 7 or above, that's typically when we ate too much, right? That's when we're stuffed, when we're miserable, when we just want to sit on the couch and not get up. Think a 10 is probably like Thanksgiving, when you're like, oh, I need to go put on some sweatpants. No more buttons, it's time for sweatpants. Anybody been there? Done that? Okay. I have actually been in both camps before, like I said, the overeating and the restrictive eating. And so I really had to come back in and really find my hunger. I really had to get back into the cues of the natural rhythms of my hunger so that I knew when it was time to eat, and I was just honoring that hunger and that fullness. So anyway, how will you know if you're not honoring your hunger and fullness? So if you eat by the clock, whether you're hungry or not, if you suppress your hunger because it's not time to eat, if you are triggered to eat by physical triggers, if you have an urge to eat from environmental triggers, if your emotions lead you to food, or if you eat until you're uncomfortable or stuffed. So, what should you do if you are ready to honor your hunger and your fullness, which is also really honoring our body? Then I want you to click on the link below and schedule a time to talk with me. As I mentioned in the beginning, there's 6 questions in the eating cycle, and addressing the when to eat question will help with weight management, bloating, and digestion. So anyway, that's today. You have, depending on if you had lunch or not, you have several more hours, 7, 8 more hours to actually tune in today into your body, to be listening to your hunger and your fullness cues. I forgot another big tip I want to put in there. When you are eating and you're eating your meal, this goes back to honoring your fullness. If you can stop, like kind of just mentally divide your plate into 2, and then if you can stop halfway through and really just see where you are, then you'll know, maybe I can have a couple more bites. Oh, maybe I only need 1 more bite. Oh, or maybe I can eat 5 more bites, like whatever that is. But that is also an excellent way to start being able to tune into your fullness, is stopping halfway through your meal, evaluating, and then continuing on, and then deciding when you want to stop so that you're satisfied or you're just full, but not uncomfortable or stuffed. Okay, glad I didn't forget that. That was a big tip. Anyway, so you can click on the link below if you want to schedule a time to talk with me. It is a free 45-minute consultation that is just all about you, a conversation about you and your goals and how you can get started, how you can get unstuck and keep moving forward. Anyway, hope you all have a great day today, and this rest of the week we will be focusing on honoring your hunger and your fullness. All right, to your health, rise up and live today. If you enjoyed this video and want to hear more health, life, and mindset tricks and tips, I hope you'll subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can also check me out on social media and my website at www.riseupandlivewellness.com. Have a great day.